Hi, Babblefish5 here. It's a rainy day in the Gulf Coast of Texas, and I'm crazy enough to be out on the trail. I've had a suggestion from Chuck from Southern California to do pork al pastor. Hey Chuck, thanks for the suggestion. Hope that search goes really well for you, and when you get a picture, I want to be the first one to see it. So, pork al pastor is the meat portion of tacos al pastor. It is a really a spicy, hot dish that's got some sweetness in it. So it uses lots of peppers and it uses some fruit juice in it to make it really sweet. So we're going to make that on this episode of the Hungry Hammock Hanger. The shopping list for today is 2 pounds of lean ground pork, 1 medium white onion diced, a cup and a half of pineapple juice and 1/2 cup of orange juice, 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar, 1/4 cup of chili powder, 2 teaspoons of kosher salt, 1 teaspoon of ground cumin, 1 teaspoon of oregano, and 3 cloves of garlic minced. 2 small chipotle peppers, and 2 tablespoons of adobo sauce, 4 tablespoons of brown gravy mix or pork gravy mix. Before we push this dish together, I want to say I realize for all you pork al pastor aficionados out there that this is not authentic. We've had to make a few changes to make this suitable for the trail. One of the changes we really made is using ground pork instead of a pork butt. Typically these recipes, normal pork al pastor is either a pulled pork that's been marinated in the spices and then pulled, or it's been sliced. The pork butt's been sliced really thin and it's toasted over an upright spit, kind of like what you see with a gyro sandwich, with a lot of spices and pineapple in it. When meats are whole like this, when you dehydrate them, it's really just kind of jerky, and it's really tough to get those whole meats, even pulled, to rehydrate all the way. They're still kind of lightly tough, and I don't particularly like that. So that's why I always take and use ground meats when I can, because they rehydrate fully again. You'll also notice that a lot of pork al pastor recipes call for pineapple to be put in them. Pineapple itself is a really dense, fibrous fruit, and those things, once you dehydrate pineapple, it will never, ever, 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 ever rehydrate again. On the plus side, you can use those dehydrated pineapples to cut diamonds or cut steel with, but they're not going to be eaten again. So that's why we're using pineapple juice and orange juice versus whole pineapples. Put your chipotle peppers and adobo sauce into a mixing bowl and mash them up really good until they form a paste. Then add all your other ingredients except the onion and the pork. Make sure to mix them up really, really well, and then let the marinade sit for about 30 minutes. Then mix in your pork and your onions and mix it really well. You want to have it to be kind of a loose ball by the time that you're done. Once you're finished mixing, well, then go wash those porky hands. Then put your pork mix into a 9x13 baking dish and then even it out really well. Let it sit for about a half hour, then bake in a 350-degree oven for 60 minutes. Make sure to give it a good stir about every 15 minutes to keep the pork broke apart. After an hour cooking, your pork al pastor will look like this. Let it cool off for about 20 minutes. Then put it on a fruit roll sheet in your dehydrator or on a cookie sheet if you're using your oven to dehydrate. Dehydrate at 160 degrees for 10 to 12 hours. This is how your pork al pastor looks after it's dehydrated. It'll be very crumbly and will break apart very, very easily. Let's talk about some substitutions that you can make in this recipe. Not everybody has access to a Latino market or some of the ingredients here. Let's say, for example, you're sitting in the UK and you're thinking, I can't get half of these ingredients. All right, don't worry about it. Here's some substitutions that you can make. With the exceptions of the chipotles and adobo sauce and the chili powder, you're probably not going to be able to get that just about everywhere. And you can get those things on the internet, on the World Wide Web if you want. But if you don't want to do that, you can replace the adobe and chipotles and adobe sauce and the chili powder with one of two things. You can take a go to an Asian market and get an Asian chili paste, because that's all we're really making with the adobes and the chipotle and the chili powder is kind of a chili paste. You can replace that with preferably a moderate to high heat Asian chili paste. If you don't have access to that, a red curry paste would be my next choice for that. And you can go anywhere from 6 to 8 to 10 tablespoons on that, depending on your heat tolerance. This recipe makes anywhere from 6 to 8 servings, depending on what your appetite is. So instead of showing you how to rehydrate it, I'll let you know that this is just like just about every other meal that's out on the trail. You can either freezer bag cook this, or you can put it into a pot, put about a ½ inch of water over your meal, bring it to a boil, and let it sit in a pot cozy for about 15 to 20 minutes, and you're good. I eat this one of 3 ways. I either rehydrate some dehydrated refried beans and turn this into a burrito, which makes an excellent burrito. A little extra sour cream and some cheese sauce on this. Beautiful. The other 2 ways that you can eat this on the trail is by putting equal amounts of pork al pastor and dehydrated rice or instant rice and eating it that way. It also goes really good over mashed potatoes. So there's 3 ways that you can eat this on the trail. Pork al pastor is pretty versatile on the trail. You can make tacos, burritos, quite a few other things with this. And it's well worth a try. It's a spicy dish with some light sweetness in it, and will certainly make a welcome addition to your backpacking pantry. If you like this episode, please give me a positive rating. The comments are always welcome. Thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you on the trail.